Kingdra is awesome, need I say more? Especially in the rain with Swift Swim. My name is Just Weavile and welcome to my Pokemon Wi-Fi Battle series where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon there is. So if that's your cup of tea, why not subscribe so you don't miss out? Let's get started. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponents. So they're going to lead off with Koinobori, the Electros, as I lead off with my Politoed just to get the rain up. There's no reason not to get the rain up here. So the rain is officially falling. And we can switch out. So I'm going to go, because these things are usually special, but they might not be, it might be a coil set or something. I'm struggling to think what to lead with, to go into. I think I'll go Slow King, because even if they are physical and they go for a knockoff, it shouldn't do too much damage, because it's not stab, and it's the Electros, so. Slow King comes in, which is great. There we go, nice and shiny. They go for a Zap Cannon, and they hit, and that always paralyzes, so that's pretty nifty. They're probably coil then, to boost the accuracy. Like a mixed attacking coil set. That's pretty cool, actually. I really want to use Electros again. Right, what do we do now? So if we assume they're going to switch out to Darkrai, we should go for a Toxic. Toxic will hurt everything as well. So let's go for a Toxic first. They go for a coil. I knew they were a coil set. I just knew it. So now, we go for a Toxic. Like so. And then we go for a Future Sight, which is what we really want to go for. So that's great. Now they go for another Zap Cannon, which is going to hit because of the coil. We go for a Future Sight, though. That's going to definitely do a bit of damage to them in the next upcoming turn. So if Zap Cannon is the best move they have to hit us with, and they don't have knockoff, which is good to know, then we should stay in here and go for a Sludge Bomb. So they go for a Drain Punch, which is going to give them a little bit of health back, but it doesn't do much damage to us, which is great. So there's the little bit of health back. We go for a Sludge Bomb here. And it's going to really sting this Electros. There we go. Stings like a truck, like a bee, like a hornet. Stings like a hornet. That leftover is going to recover the Drain Punch damage, which is nice. And then they're going to get some Toxic, which is awesome. Now they withdraw. They don't have a Steel type, though, so I'm not worried too much. They're going to go into Darkrai, the Hoenn champion. Nice. Nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. Sludge Bomb comes through. And it does a solid 45%. The Future Sight attack doesn't work because it's a Darkrai. And now we have to fear the Dark Pulse, which is definitely coming our way. So let's see how this plays out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into Beartic. Beartic's got some nice natural bulk. So I know we can take a Dark Pulse from this thing. We should only take about 45% if my calculations are correct. There's the Dark Pulse. Never mind, it's Specs. We should outspeed though. So what I'm going to do here, my best course of action is probably going to be an Icicle Crash, but I don't want to miss. So I'm going to go for a Liquidation in the rain. They do withdraw the Darkrai. Are they going to go into Necrozma? They go back into the Electros to sack it off. Makes sense. So Liquidation comes through. Down goes the Electros, which is great. Just great for us. Just great for us. And the rain should wear off this turn, I believe. Or was it the next turn? Bull free. Oh no, that's the cute sounding name, isn't it? So Shields Down's going to activate on this thing. We know it's game. It wants to Shell Smash, pretty much. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is, we can't go for an attack on this thing. What we're going to have to do is go into, they're going to Shell Smash. So we should go into you, maybe, and Terra Blast first. Going to bring Politoed back in. Now, I know the rain's about to wear off, but Politoed has a move called Haze, which is definitely going to be helpful if this thing sets up a Shell Smash. So we'll go Politoed now. They do go for a Shell Smash, which is great and all. They're probably Focus Sashed. Probably Focus Sashed. There we go. The attack, special attack, and speed is going to raise sharply. And what we can do now is, like I said, we can go for a Haze or we can go for an Encore. The rain is going to stop this turn, but it's fine. We can get... Politoed should live a hit. So let's go for a Haze real quick. Shell Smashing again is very brave in front of a Water type, so that tells me they are Focus Sashed. But luckily we went for a Haze here, which is going to reset these Shell Smashes. So there's the boosts, and then the Haze is coming your way shortly. As there we go. Speed rose sharply, that's the final one. We go for a Haze, get rid of that. No Shell Smashing for you, I'm afraid. None at all. So now, we go for a Surf. They withdraw. They've realized they can't do much here, and they're probably going to go Hydrapple. Dokuhibi, which is probably the Hydrapple, right? Yeah. Nice and shiny Hydrapple. I love shiny Hydrapple. We go for a Surf. It's just going to do a little bit of chip, nothing too drastic. Nothing at all, really. We get to see if they're leftovers or not, which they're not. And now, because this thing's a special attacker, we should definitely go into our Slow King. So That's exactly what I'm going to do, and we'll try and go for a Sludge Bomb. Now, these things can have Regenerator, and it probably has got Regenerator. So, any damage we do, the Giga Drain does no damage, of course. And then what we're going to do is, because they're probably not going to stay in a Fickle Beam, right? They withdraw, which is great. So, what are they going to go into? What do they go into? Bull. That's going to be the Minior again. Nice and yellow. There's the shields down going up. And then we tell a chillingly bad joke. Maybe I should have gone for a Toxic breaking the Focus Sash on this thing. That would have probably been better. But it starts to snow. And then we go on back. So now, they're only going to be able to get one Shell Smash up. And we'll get to see if they're physical or special. So let's go Politoed in. Once again. To set up the rain. There we go. Get the rain up. Like so. And we go for a Surf. They withdraw. Probably into the Hydro Apple again. Yeah, Dokuhebi comes in. This time, we're not going to go into Slowking because they probably go for a Fickle Beam predicting that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go for an Ice Beam. I'm going to go for an Ice Beam for a reason. I don't think they Terra, which they haven't. And I want to get damage off on this thing. We freeze the Hydro Apple. We freeze the Hydro Apple. And it's frozen solid. It's not going to fall out this turn. Awesome stuff. Let's stay in and go for another Ice Beam. I don't see any reason not to. Hacks happens. Take advantage of it. That's what I always say. Frozen solid still, which is awesome. The Hydro Apple is not messing around now. Luckily, Ice Beam can come through and take this thing out. There we go. So down goes the Hydro Apple. I definitely wanted to take advantage of that freeze. So we got a KO with Politoed, which is awesome. And Faunabell's just put in the Discord chat. Oh, darn. Infitix comes in. Infitix. Necrozma comes in. Now, this thing might want to set up. So I'm going to go for an Encore. We do outspeed them, weirdly. As they go for a Charge Beam. And that does a little bit of damage to us. Nothing too drastic. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into our Slowking. And I want to reset the rain. That's what I want to do. I want to reset the rain. So we'll go Slowking now. Like so. They go for a Hyper Voice, which is going to do a little bit of damage. And it pops a Throat Spray, which is really cool. I love Throat Spray shenanigans. I really like Throat Spray shenanigans. So they go for a Stealth Rocks, which is definitely going to help them here. Stops us from switching out too much. And they don't have a Hazard Remover anymore, or at all. So we're going to get Chilly Reception off. Like so. There we go, starts to snow. And we're going to go back. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into Sandy Shocks. I want to break the potential Focus Sash on the Minior. So I'm going to go into Sandy Shocks now. I don't think Sandy Shocks is doing much else other than this. So we may as well go into it. Nice and shiny as well. We outspeed the Necrozma, I know that for a fact. And we might go down to a Photon Geyser here, but I'm going to take the opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks come through. Like so. Boom. Breaking a Sash on the Minior and also chipping away at the rest of the team. Photon Geyser comes through at +1. Doesn't actually take us out, which is really cool. So that means I get a free Earth Power off on this thing, which is what I'm going to do. So Earth Power comes through. Over half, which is great. They go for another Photon Geyser. And that's going to take out Magneto over here. So Sandy Shocks does go down. But we can now reset the rain, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go into our Politoed now. There we go. Cheeks comes in. Like so. Stealth Rocks do dig in, of course. But we get the rain on, which is what we really wanted to go for there. So now we're going to go for a Surf. We outspeed. And that's going to take out the Necrozma, right? Yeah, there we go. So Necrozma goes down. Necrozma is so cool. Such a cool mon. Abductropil comes in. The Dragapult. So we can't let this thing set up on us. So I think we go for an Encore here. So that if they go for a Dragon Dance, we can Encore them into it. U-turn, that's fine. It's going to do no damage. It does a bit of damage, to be fair. And now they're probably going to go into, I would say, Darkrai. Darkrai the Hoenn Champ comes in. Now, the rest of the team is weakened enough to the point where Kingdra should be able to handle things from here. So, Encore obviously fails. I don't mind, though. It's not the end of the world. As we can now go for a Surf. If we can live the Dark Pulse, that is. Which we don't. Of course, I wasn't expecting it to live, to be honest with you. But now we go into Kingdra. This is where things start to get good. So Kingdra comes in, and we outspeed everything on the team. For a start. We Terra, Flying, Hurricane. And now, this Kingdra is a threat to be reckoned with. It's a threat. A big threat at that. Because with Terra Flying making Hurricane stab, and the rain being up making it so Hurricane can't miss, plus Swift Swim and Life Orb, we're looking pretty good right now. So there's the Hurricane, Terra Flying. No chance of living that, I don't think. Darkrai goes down, which is great. Kingdra is showing itself to be one of the best late game sweepers ever, I think. I think Kingdra is such a cool Pokemon. Bull comes in. It's a Minior. Stealth Rocks do dig in, breaking a potential Focus Sash. And then there's the shields down. So if they go for a Shell Smash here, banking on the miss on the Hydro Pump, so be it. But we should still outspeed the next turn, because we should be faster than shields down Minior. So let's go to Hydro Pump. They're going to Terra. Oh, what type are they going to Terra into? So they're probably baiting the Water move, and they're probably going to be Terra Grass, if I had to guess. Terra Ghost? Making yourself susceptible to a Hurricane, I see. So if we miss this Hydro Pump, and they go for a Shell Smash, we don't miss the Hydro Pump, though. In the rain, definitely going to KO the Minior right there. So Minior goes down, which is great. And all we need to do now is drop a Draco on that Dragapult, and that should be the game. Unless they've got Sucker Punch, of course. There comes in the Dragapult. Stealth Rocks do dig in. And we're going to drop a Draco real quick. Draco Meteor comes through. And that is going to be the game. So GG Fauna build. That was a pretty fun one. The freeze on the Hydropple was really unfortunate, but I don't think... I think Kingdra would have still came through at the end here. Because obviously Kingdra with the Hydropple goes down to the Hurricane. So, you know, I think it's a good game. GG. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Cody. So they're going to lead off with Hatterene, the once well-trained, as I led off with Politoed. I figured Politoed was a good one, because we can get the rain up straight away. They have no way of getting rid of the rain, I don't think. And now what we can do is we can go for a Surf straight up, because they're more than likely going to go for a Nuzzle, predicting a switch. So let's go for a Surf now, and just to get some damage off. And if they do switch into the Dozo, it's fine. They don't know, they stay and take it, and Surf is going to do about a third of their HP, which is cool. They go for Mystical Fire, that's fine. It's going to lower our special attack, like so. And now we'll switch out. What do we go into, though? I'm leaning towards Slowbro. So I think I will go Slowbro here. So withdraw Cheeks. And we go into Slowbro once again. The Drip Queen comes through. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. They withdraw the Hatterene, predicting the switch, maybe? And they go into Electros, the once well-trained, which is fine. So Electros comes in. And what we can do now is we can set up a Future Sight, because they have no Dark type, so we'll go for a Future Sight straight away. They might go for a knockoff here, and they might be Assault Vest, but either way. They withdraw the Electros, and we're probably gonna see a Excadrill switch. Excadrill comes in, the once well-trained. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. Breaks the mold. And then we go for a Future Sight here, so that's great. So Future Sight comes through. They might have expected a Sludge Bomb as well. It's always a possibility, but obviously we can't do anything here. We're not going to Chili, because A, will go slower, so we'll get slammed by an Earthquake, and B, just don't want that to happen. So let's go Corviknight now. Corviknight seems like the most logical one. They withdraw the Excadrill. Oh, they're predicting the Corviknight switching into Magnezone, aren't they? Oh, Electros, that's fine. We can deal with Electros. I was going to say the Magnezone would have Magnet Pull, and then we'd end up getting trapped, meaning we'd have to go for a U-turn and hope they don't outspeed us. But we're going to Noctis now. I have no doubt in my mind that Corviknight can outspeed here, so I'm going to go straight for the U-turn. U-turn comes through, bit of chip damage on the Electros, and we still don't know what set this thing is. It could be Coil, setting up, knockoffs and stuff like that. It could be anything. So if we assume they're going to go for a knockoff, we should go into Beartic, because there's a good chance they're AV. There is a good chance they're AV, so I think we go into Beartic. Flamethrower won't do too much damage because of the rain. And they go for a Coil, so they are a Coil set. Interesting. So that's going to put a bit of a damper on things. So they're going to get their attack and defense boost and the accuracy raise. We do outspeed them, and they do take the future side attack, which is nice. But I don't think Icicle Crash will KO from there. Or would it? Would it KO? They've got the Dozo, so there's no point setting up a Liquid Swords Dance. Let's go for an Icicle Crash and just see if it gets the KO. They'll at least do a lot of damage. Ooh. They flinched! Nice. Oh, they're leftovers, so they're not Assault Vest, which is good to know. But they are a coil set, which is obviously terrifying. If we assume they're going to go for a Drain Punch here, we should go into Corviknight, get the Rocky Helmet chip. Even if they go for an Electric type attack, I'm pretty sure Corviknight can take it. So let's go into Noctis now. It's a bit of a weird switch going into a Flying type against an Electric type, but I figured Drain Punch was coming. And we can take that like a champ. It was a crit, but it's fine. We're not bothered about that. They got the flinch earlier, so I think it's only right they get a crit. But the Rocky Helmet is going to take away the health that they just regained, which is great. So, and that's always going to happen. So, now, what do we do here? They're probably going to have Thunder Punch or Wild Charge. Do I Roost? I think I Roost here. We go for a Roost. There we go. And if they attack us for whatever reason, then it's fine. They go for another coil, though. That's kind of terrifying right there. It's kind of terrifying right there. If only we were slower. If we were slower, we could go for a slow U-turn. The rain does stop, which is fine. We can get the rain back up, no problem, with Politoed later. DC Electros is going to be a problem, though. We're going to have to hit it hard with a special attacker, I think. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for the... I'm going to go for a U-turn here, because they're going to go for another coil, probably. U-turn does no damage, obviously. And let's see how this plays out. So, I'm wanting to go... If we assume they're going to go for a Wild Charge, we should go into Sandy Shocks, but then we can't really do anything in return. Can't really do anything in return. They don't have a Hazard Clearer. We might force the Hatterene in. Oh, they have Excadrill, which could have Rapid Spin. Probably does have Rapid Spin. We should go Kingdra or Politoed to get the rain back up. I think we go Politoed to get the rain back up. I'm pretty confident we can take a Thunder Punch. Not sure about a Wild Charge. So we go Politoed to get the rain back up like so. And they go for a Drain Punch again, which is going to do a bit more damage. They get a crit. That's fine. What we're going to do now is we're going to take away those coils. We're going to take away those coils with the move Haze. And Politoed should outspeed here because Electros is very slow. So we should be able to go for a Haze here. Get rid of that 2 coil boost that it has. And go from there. We go for a Haze. Get rid of that coil boost that it's got. Just to stop it from setting up all over us. And they go for a Thunder Punch, which probably KOs us. It does. So we've lost Politoed. But it's not the end of the world. We got rid of the coils at least. So now we can take it on with a physical attacker, like, for example, Bear Tick can come in and Icicle Crash it, but we don't want to do Bear Tick because Drain Punch is coming our way. What we want to do is we want to scare this thing. We're going to go into Kingdra. Kingdra's Hydro Pump in the rain will definitely KO this thing. I know that for a fact. So let's go for the Hydro Pump and hope we don't miss. Hydro Pump comes through, we don't miss, which is nice. And that's a dead Electros right there. So Electros goes down, Kingdra is putting in the work already. You gotta love it. Magnezone comes in. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. So this thing might have Sturdy, and I don't want to risk missing the Hydro Pump again. So what am I going to do? I probably want to Flip Turn into Sandy Shocks. So I'm going to Flip Turn now, and if they Terror, they haven't Terrored, which is good. We break a potential Sturdy with a Flip Turn. That does a nice chunk of damage as well, considering we're specially offensive. So now we're going to our Sandy Shocks, and we can use this as an opportunity to get Stealth Rocks up, which will force a Rapid Spin later. Or we can predict the Hatterene switch and still go for an Earth Power. And they go for a Terror Blast. That's going to sting a little bit. Not too much though, about a third of our HP. And we're going to go for an Earth Power. I don't see any reason not to go for an Earth Power. They withdraw the Magnezone. What are they going to go into? Probably the Excadrill. I think it had Air Balloon actually. Yeah, Excadrill, the one that's well trained, comes in. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. Mold Breaker breaks the mold. And there's the Air Balloon, which is unfortunate. So, Earth Power comes through, as you would expect. Now, they're probably going to Rapid Spin to get a speed boost. We should go Corviknight here. And then U-turn. I'm going to go Corviknight and then U-turn. And if they go into the Magnezone this turn to try and trap me, we'll just hope that we can outspeed. So we withdraw Sandy Shocks. Obviously outspeeds the Excadrill, so we don't know whether they're switched out or not yet. And we're going to go into Noctis, like so. They did withdraw the Excadrill. They're probably going to go Magnezone here to try and trap us. Hatterene, interesting choice. Very interesting choice. So this thing probably wants to Mystical Fire us, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to U-turn. Now I'm going to Brave Bird. I'm going to Brave Bird this Hatterene in the face. Like so. There we go. Bit of damage. If they go for Mystical Fire, it'll bounce back at them with Mirror Armor. They are a berry, which is going to recover their HP, so it's a Citrus Berry, which is really cool. And they go for a Trick Room. Interesting. So that has kind of twisted things up a bit. In which case, we should go for a U-turn now, because we can go for a slow U-turn, because they will go first. Mystical Fire, that's fine. It's going to do no damage, but it does Mirror Armor the special attack drop back, which means we can now come into something else safely to take on this Hatterene, which is going to be great. So I think the Pokemon of choice right now is going to be Beartic. So we'll go into Beartic now. Blizzardia. There we go. And the rain does stop. We might see an attack, or we might see a Dondozo switch. I think I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash regardless. They go for a Draining Kiss. It's going to do no damage, because they got a special attack drop from their own Mystical Fire, remember? Hopefully we don't miss the Icicle Crash here. We don't, which is nice. I've been getting really good luck with the Icicle Crashes recently. Doesn't quite get the KO, but Earthquake will at least do a little bit of damage to the Dondozo if they bring it in. They go for a Side Shock to get some last-ditch damage off. Takes us to about half. We go for an EQ. That's going to take out the Hatterene, which is fantastic. So with Hatterene out of the way, we've got no rain, but the rest of the team is slow except from the Zamazenta. Dondozo comes in. Fine. Nice and shiny as well. It's ginormous. I forgot how big Dondozo was. This thing's probably going to set up on us. Or Wave Crash us. One of the two. We should probably go into Sandy Shocks. But they might predict that. I think... Did the Twisted Dimensions return to normal? Not yet. We've got one more turn. I think the best thing to do is to go into Slowking, personally. Slowking can do things, and as long as this thing's not Rest Talk, which it might be, we should be able to Toxic it and then Future Sight. Or just Future Sight, one of the two. So Slowking comes in. Curse. Are they a Rest Talk set, do you think? It depends what they've got. So they lower their speed and they boost their attack and defense. So now that they've lowered their speed, they should be slower than us, especially now that the Trick Room has wore off. So I'm going to go for a Future Sight straight up. We do outspeed, which is great. Future Sight comes through. We foresee an attack. They go for a Liquidation. That's going to sting. It's not going to do half, though. And it doesn't lower our defense, which is really lucky. So that's good. So the Leftover is going to take us back. So we definitely live another Liquidation from this thing. Since we've seen Liquidation, I want to say that it's not a Rest set. If it was a Rest set, you'd run Wave Crash. So I'm going to go for a Toxic here. I think Toxic will really help against this Dondozo. That's for sure. As they go for another Liquidation, which is going to sting a little bit. Just a wee bit. And luckily, Chilly Reception isn't negative priority, so we can Chilly Reception into this thing. So Toxic's going to come through and whittle away at the health a little bit. But then they're probably not going to rest yet if they have got rest. So I'm going to Chilly now, and I'm going to go into our Kingdra. We tell a Chilly bad joke. This is going to set the snow up, which doesn't really help us in any way, but it should be, you know, pretty useful for us. So we go on back. We get a Regenerator boost back to our HP. And now we probably should go into... If they're going to go for a Liquidation, we should definitely go into Kingdra. Or the Corviknight. Corviknight for Roost? No, we go Kingdra. We go Kingdra here. If Kingdra's doing anything in this game, it's taking this thing out. So we go Kingdra. They go for a Body Press instead, which does a bit more damage. They take the Future Sight attack, which is great. And that does not as much health as I wanted it to do. Not as much health as I wanted it to do. So we're going to have to drop a Draco here. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Drop a Draco. Should KO. It does KO, which is fantastic. And the Dondozo is out of there, which is great for us because it means Beartic can do some stuff now against the Magnezone and against the Excadrill potentially. If we can get... No, we can't get the rain up anymore, so it's not. Excadrill, the once while Train comes in. I do believe we should outspeed. It's whether we're timid or modest or not. Right, we're modest, so I'm going to withdraw into Corviknight. They're going to withdraw their Excadrill now and go into Zamazenta. So every time they've predicted the Corviknight switch, oh, it's nice and shiny. I love shiny Zamazenta. Every time they've predicted the Corviknight switch, they haven't gone into Magnezone. So that tells me they're not actually predicting the Corviknight switch. So we'll withdraw Kingdra. Kingdra can still be useful against this thing later with the Terra Flying Surprise. We just have to hit a Hurricane. So now that this thing's in, let's go for a U-turn because they're probably going to Iron Defense. There's the Iron Defense. Like so. We go for a U-turn. That's going to get us out of there. And our best bet here is probably going to be to go into Slowking and Future Sight. I think that's the best thing we can do here. So let's go ahead and do that. Like so. They are at +3 defense, thanks to Dauntless Shield and Iron Defense. But they are leftovers, which is good to know. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to go for a Future Sight. They do go for a Crunch, which is going to nearly take us out. But it's fine. We go for a Future Sight. And all we need to do, really, is go ahead and switch out. So they're probably going to go for another Crunch, take us out, and then switch out. So what we do is we go Corviknight now. Corviknight can definitely take 2 body presses right now. Or at least I think it can. It might not be able to be honest with you. So let's see how this plays out for us. Noctis comes on in. Like so. They go for a Crunch, which is great. That's the best case scenario. We get the Mirror Armor lowering the defense. And we get the Rocky Helmet, which is great. That's some good luck right there. Now, they don't want to take a Future Sight with the Zamazenta. So we'll probably see a switch into Excadrill or Magnezone. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here. And they're actually going to Terrastalize. Are they going to Terra Steel here? Terra Steel would be interesting. Terra Fire. Okay. That's fine. Terra Fire is fine. They go for another Iron Defense, taking into +4. Because they got lowered defense from the Crunch Mirror Armor. So now we go for a U-turn. It does no damage, obviously. And they definitely take the Future Sight now. Question is, what do we do? Because Body Press will hurt everything. I think our best bet here is to go into Drip Queen once again. The Drip Queen. They take the Future Sight attack. Still does a nice chunk of damage. Like so. Then we switch out Slowking again. And we go into Bear Tick, sack it off. And then go into Kingdra to Terra Flying. So that's my game plan right now. So we'll go into Bear Tick. And the reason we want to do this is so that we can get the Slowking back up to pretty much full HP. Go for a Toxic to take out the Zamazenta. So Blizzardia comes in. They do go for a Crunch, which is great. That's going to do not enough damage to KO us. Lowers our defense, though. We've got 2 minutes left of the game. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Timer needs to be longer. At least 5 minutes longer. Even just 5 minutes would be nice. So let's go for a Liquidation now. They go for another Crunch, which is going to take us out. There we go. And now we're going to have to go Kingdra. So they're probably thinking... Alright, so I'm hoping that we can play this out like this. But we're going to go Kingdra first. And I'm really hoping we can take a Body Press with Terra Flying. So we're going to Terra Flying. We're going to Hydro Pump. So we Terrastalize now, and hopefully they go for a Body Press here. Body Press would be the best case scenario, and hopefully we live the Body Press for a start. But they are at +4 defense, so there is a good chance we don't live. We might be getting swept by a Zamazenta here. Let's see. Body Press, can we live on 1 HP? Nope. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Kingdra, you did good there. You tried your best. But I guess your best wasn't good enough. Now our only real option is to go into Galarian Slowking and go for a Toxic. That's pretty much our only option. So we'll go for the Toxic now. They go for a Crunch. That's going to do a lot of health. We should live 1 more unless they get a defense drop, which they haven't. Toxic comes through. There we go. Only thing I can do really at this point. And then we just go for a Sludge Bomb. So with 10 seconds left of the battle, I want to know what you guys think. Will there be Theirymons? I want to, well, maybe pheromones. I want to hear your pheromones. I want to hear which team you think is going to win. There's the toxic. We're not going to be able to pick another move because of the toxic. I would have gone for a sludge bomb here just to get the damage off, but unfortunately time's run out. So they had Magnezone Extra on this thing left. Who do you think would actually win that one? Let me know.